welcome our participants. A very warm welcome to you and our...
Avinash, can you pull down the screen?
Yeah.
So we can start now.
So, a very warm welcome to all our eminent speakers of the day, and as well, of course, a hearty welcome to our participants. We join here to rejoice the graduation ceremony of this 3 months course on leadership development in citywide inclusive sanitation. Having said that, Jyotsna, can you pull up the first slide?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
So there we are into the completion of the leadership development and citywide inclusive sanitation, the 4th cohort in the past 2 years. And we have several number of change champions which we have developed here, and they will be taking it forward in their countries, in their ULBs, in their cities further in future. The next slide. Just to give a glance, in this cohort 4, we take the pride that we had so many people from different states, 18 different states. We had from participants from different countries in Asia as well as Africa. And if you see on the right-hand side, these are the different organizations of different government organizations, INGOs, academic institutions from which we had participants, and we have created our change champions who would be taking the work forward. This cohort was a 3 months course, but then all of a sudden it feels that we have come to an end of it. And looking back, it's like we had just begun just a few days ago. But I guess we have done a lot, we have achieved a lot, learned a lot, shared a lot of our experiences. And this is where I would ask Jyotsna to take us to a little bit of flashback from where we started in this cohort and how we have gradually moved on and what we have achieved, learned, and created here. Over to you, Jyotsna, to take us through the flashback.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. It's really heartening to see the messages in the group and also from the participants. Like, we have come to an end of this course. It was too quick, actually. So the past 10 weeks that we are associated, we have done a lot of contact sessions, interactions, peer learnings, and a lot of that. So I'll just recap what we have learned in the past 10 weeks. So we have covered a number of topics coming to environmental standards, planning, how to plan a city or citywide inclusive sanitation. We have talked about on-site sanitation systems, what are the different innovative technologies that are available in the containment, like Reinvent Toilet, MERT. There are eminent speakers from across the globe who have joined to discuss their experiences. We have talked about worker safety, behavior change, how we can express a story, how we can tell a story, and various treatment technologies of treating fecal sludge. And we also had an innovation workshop where you all came up with an idea of an enterprise, sanitation enterprise, and it was assessed by a venture capitalist. Participants actively engaged in that. And we had sessions on monitoring, evaluation, how to select indicators, how to collect data for the indicators, and not to miss financing part of it. What are the PPP models that are available in Bangladesh, in India, and also across South Asia? Then we also discussed about how to sustain the citywide inclusive sanitation, like the climate change, how to make a city resilient of the climate change that is happening, and how to develop a citywide service delivery plan. So there are various topics that we have discussed, and we had speakers from across the globe who have shared their experiences. And but yeah, we met every Wednesday and every Saturday for 1.5 hours. We've discussed the contact sessions. There were technical sessions, peer learning also. We have heard from the couple of participants about their action plan. And then we had a social innovation workshop, and yes, LMS was also there where the material was uploaded. I hope not all, but at least maximum people have gone to the LMS and have read the reading material before the start of the session. So we had a couple of assessments also. We had 2 quizzes, one recently completed, and also we had a lot of interaction on the quiz itself, like saying that this is not the right answer, but this is the one. A lot of discussion happened on the quiz also, and action plans were developed by most of the participants. They've submitted it, and they have also shared the commitment towards how they want to make their own city a CWIS city, and interaction sessions definitely. So and I would like to appreciate all the participants who have attended regularly. So these are the participants who have 85% of plus attendance, who have regularly attended and listened to our course. So congratulations to all of you. And also the participants who were active, who asked us more and more questions, who interacted, who shared their experience, and who were very active on the submissions of quiz or action plan. So I'd also like to appreciate all the participants who have actively participated in all the contact sessions. So special appreciation to you also. So congratulations to you all. And some of the highlights of the course, like we have active participation, there's a lot of learning, there was demonstration of tools, we had IMIS from Nepal was presented, we have frameworks, we have seen how FSM toolbox, there were technical sessions, peer learnings, and these were some of the highlights from the course. And yeah, there were a lot and lots of questions also. The one thing that we have done in this cohort is we had a 3-day exposure visit here in Telangana. So some of you also joined us here. So it was like a really learning, and there were a lot of questions from being how to define a city under citywide inclusive sanitation, and what is the difference between sanitation value chain and sanitation service chain, to most of the technical questions of how Jocaso will work, how it can be made to a local material, and about the reinvent toilet. So there were huge number of questions on pathogens, on biosolids, and yeah, so we have discussed all of this. Some of the snapshots. So the whole journey wouldn't be possible without the faculty members who helped us in sharing their knowledge. So I hope a couple of them have joined today. I thank all of you for taking out time and sharing your experience and your knowledge to our participants. So thanks to all the faculty members. From the session 1 to the session we had very recently where Dr. Isaac Thomas has joined. So thank you all for making this a really great success. So with this briefing, with this background of what we have all done, now I would like to invite one of the course directors, Professor Srinivas Chari, to share his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, everyone. And I request all the participants, at least for today, keep your cameras on as much as you can, unless there are some serious challenges. I think this is an opportunity for us to see each other. So my earnest request to you is to keep your cameras on. So great. We'll take some photographs later, but I think it'll be nice to see each other. That's number one. So thank you very much. Thank you all the faculty members. Thank you all the participants who went through this journey of citywide inclusive sanitation. For us, this is a very critical course because we are dealing mostly with practitioners who are out to bring change. So this is not an academic sort of a course. This course is about making change happen. So I'm so happy that many of you who are actually from the field have joined the course, despite your day-to-day commitments, and you meticulously took out time on Wednesdays and Saturdays and then join this program. So I think for us, that's a big, change we see in the sector. That's number one. Number two, I think there is a great appreciation that sanitation is no longer a private service, but sanitation is a public service, could be delivered through public-private partnerships. But I think there is a common minimum understanding that sanitation is a public service. It requires a certain amount of policy direction. It requires regulation. It requires monitoring. It requires capacity building. So I think this is a common minimum understanding that all of us have acquired. I think that's a significant change. And I've been speaking to a number of delegates as I speak today. We have a very interesting delegation from Nepal. The mayors and the senior officers from Nepal are here. And this is a common understanding that is emerging in the region. And I think through this course, we are spreading this message that sanitation cannot be left to the markets. The markets often fail. It has to be a public service. It has to be regulated. I think that's a very powerful message that has come through this program. I think I'm going to sort of retain this learning. The second important thing, I think we had a very eminent speaker last week, rather this week. Thomas Isaac was a former finance minister from Kerala and who championed the cause of sanitation. How he discussed about how to build political will to convert understanding into practice. So this course is not just about knowing things, but it's all about doing things. So I think that's the reason we brought in a politician to discuss about how do we convert a policy into a practice. I think that's a very, very important message I would like to leave behind. And this session is not an end in itself. We are going to collaborate with you. We are going to work with you. We are going to create a community of practice to translate this learning, whatever we exchange among ourselves, into real implementation. That's, I think, I would say, is a success indicator for this program. It's not about learning, but I think how do we translate learning into practice? How do we take those steps? I think that is going to be the success indicator. And I'm going to announce at a later point in time that we propose to create a network of all of us so that we can rely on each other to translate this learning into implementation. And that's what I think we would be reporting to ADBI, we would be reporting to BMGF, we would be reporting to all the partners who have been investing time and energy in us. So I think that's another important area. And in fact, that's one of the reasons we keep in touch with all the earlier cohorts and we encourage them to come and deliver talks, how they took the learnings and implemented in the ground. So today also we have a couple of our alumni going to speak to us about how they translated some of the ideas into practice. So I think I'm not going to spend too much time. I just want to thank all of you, thank all our partners for investing time in this program, investing time in ASCII, and investing time in this partnership to convert our understanding into an implementation. The idea is not just about learning, but learning to implementation is what our motto. And I hope we have achieved to some extent, but this is not an end in itself. We are going to work with you to translate our learning into implementation. Thank you very much. And I now invite Dr. Sitaram to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Professor Chari. Let me share my screen to make some comments for today. I hope you can see my screen. The motivation for this course was, as Srinivas Chari nicely mentioned, was to really turn policy into action, and it is practitioner oriented. This course, today we are completing the 4th cohort. We have had 3 cohorts in the past. And right from the beginning, when the course was developed, we chose to conduct it online and also outside the office hours and on holidays intentionally, because practitioners are busy, they cannot take time out. And we developed a learning program which is archivable, and then you can go back to it and learn at your own pace. So it's a self-paced learning. The main motivation for transferring this knowledge is available abundantly, but knowledge resulting in action. So I would like to today mention these 4 phrases, if I may, to say what are we expecting from you and what we hope you have firmly taken back as take-home message. And there's a lot more work to do in each country to achieve sanitation. The first and foremost, or the primordial objective, is to make sanitation very accountable. To give an example, we are now able to have this online course because the internet technology is working for each one of us. And it's 24/7 reliable. Yes, some have connectivity issues, but it predominantly works. How can we make sanitation work like that? Means it's there's transparency, there's availability, and there's a good governance. So you know what you pay for and you know what service you had contracted for. And this is a public service, as was mentioned. It's a public responsibility. So we cannot have a private solution. And it needs to be very clear that people all can access it. Everybody can get it. So that is the citywide inclusive sanitation. What does that mean? To me, that accountability translates into 3 important things to deliver that, because it is delivering the service. The first one is prioritizing sanitation in government policy. I hope through these lectures in several modules, you've got the clear understanding what type of institutional arrangements that we need to make sanitation accessible and safe sanitation accessible to all. Institutional arrangement mean it is beyond the individuals in each one of us. Each one of us will move on from one job to another job. How does the sanitation institution arrangement continue to operate? So that is the most important thing that I hope you all will look at. Next one is action. I know each of us have a champion inside us. We want to do something, but it's always possible to fail or do something which will not be so successful after us. We can make an individual attempt and try a pilot, but the pilot can stop or can end after we have left it. So that's why action must be based on real evidence. And I hope through this course, you've got some good knowledge into what works. And I have a personal bias to say, let's learn from success. Of course, we can learn from failures as well, but it's much more compelling and motivating to learn from success. So let's find out how to replicate success. That does not mean that we will not fail, but at least we will know how success is even more difficult if we have to do it across the political terms, across the terms of officers. And to me, success is successor. So we are forming a group here of peer learning. Can somebody do it just like I did, but when I'm not there? So it's like how a teacher provides knowledge to a student in the class, and we have all been students, and we're able to use that knowledge. The third factor, which I hope has come out very clearly, and also from the experience from countries like Japan, is that innovation means that we need to actively partner with the various stakeholders. It is not who is right and who is wrong, or who has the responsibility, who does not have. All of us have to work together as stakeholders. And what I have learned is that a service, a public service, works very well if it just operates just like a business would operate, which means there are revenues which can continuously sustain the service. Either users pay or government has an arrangement, but to be sustainable, it has to operate just like a business would do. For that, we can learn from startups, we can learn from other sectors. So these are the 3 things I feel are so important for sanitation sector to become so good that we will all celebrate 10 years down the road that yes, we had a course like this and we were able to solve the challenges of sanitation. My colleague, Dr. Akbar, will give formal closing remarks and keynote on behalf of the Asian Development Bank. I warmly welcome him and thank him for joining. Also, colleague from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Dr. Roshan Shrestha, who has been so passionate to help us design and also participate in each of the cohorts. He's also attending today, so he will make final remarks as to his appreciation and his expectation on the way forward. So with that, I hand over back to Srinivas Chari. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the inspirational speech, and thank you for always being a pillar and pushing us and nudging us to make the cohort better and better as we pass. Thank you so much. So now I'd like to invite Mr. Jun from JICA. He is a senior representative and he's the in charge of WASH sector in the JICA India office. Welcome, sir. We request you to kindly deliver the graduation address.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for introducing me. I'm Jun Watanabe, Senior Representative of JICA India office. It is a privilege for me for making graduation day address today, and I would appreciate the organizers to provide such a great opportunity. First of all, I'd like to sincerely congratulate all the participants for completing this vital course. I'm delighted to see that the course has grown in terms of the number of participants and geographically even across borders since the first cohort. I believe this shows the urgency and importance of the CWIS concept in achieving improved water quality and sanitation throughout the public. I hope this 3-month comprehensive course provides participants a valuable foundation and perspective for learning the CWIS concept, for mutually sharing experiences, and also for future networking. On behalf of JICA, I'd like to appreciate Professor Chari and all ASCI colleagues and Dr. Ram from ADBI to connect JICA to this course and work closely in recent years. We could nominate one participant from our office in this year as well. I would be sincerely thankful for providing us such an excellent opportunity. I have been working at the JICA India office since this July. As you may know, the water and sanitation sector is a significant part of our cooperation and operation in India. We have been supporting the improvement of sanitation services in many cities across India. Taking this occasion of the graduation day address, I'd like to share 4 practical lessons we have learned from our projects for improving sanitation from the infra development perspective. The first one is to secure necessary permits and approvals at the planning stage. Particularly for projects which involves constructing facilities such as a sewage treatment plant or pipes, it is essential to secure land acquisition and forest clearance permits at the planning stage. If this is not done properly by the implementation stage, a contractor will not proceed with works, which leads to an extension or delay of the contract period or an increase in cost. The second point is related to cost estimation. The cost estimate must be accurate by reflecting recent market prices and must be approved by executing agency in the appropriate confirmation process. If this process is inadequate, it will lead to the overpricing from bidders, and the project will have to take retendering procedures. Thirdly, I must stress here the importance of capacity of executing agencies. Executing agencies should have enough ability for proper project supervision and progress monitoring through appropriate staffing and continuous capacity building activities. Needless to say, This online course is aimed at the heart of this point. Last but not least, selection of contractors. It is crucial to select competent contractors through a fair process. If a less capable contractor is preferred due to some political interventions or preferential treatment of local contractors, this can also lead to delays in construction or suspension of the work, which may even force back to retendering process. The points I raised are common lessons from large-scale project point of view, but I believe these points may give you some suggestion for your project management under the CWIS concept. I believe the comprehensive approach is necessary for inclusive sanitation. Therefore, large-scale infra and CWIS concept is totally supplemented each other. CWIS concept has brought fresh insight and different angle of perspective to JICA. JICA will continue to make efforts to mainstream this concept to our operations. As the name of the course itself suggests, all of you are expected to play a leading role in translating the CWIS concept into practice. I finish my address by wishing you all the best for the future success with utilizing what you learned from it, and hope that you will make the most of the networks you have built up during this course. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Mr. June, for that address of yours. I'm sure our participants have been really boosted up, and they will take it forward, their learnings.
So before we go, Chari sir, would you like to make some comment?
No. I just like to thank Watanabe. Just wanted to reassure you that one of the important lessons we have learned from JICA and also the Japanese experience is developing what is called the on-site decentralized regulatory framework. We call it as JICASO Act. It is not about the technology, but the way we regulate the whole system, right from the containment all the way to treatment and disposal. The public service delivery, the way it is regulated at different across the value chain, and also the public finance, how it is directed for incentivizing technology innovations, incentivizing households to make transition from insanitary to sanitary toilet. I think these are super examples for us, and I can assure you that we are working in a couple of provinces where some of these lessons will be translated into real regulatory frameworks. While technology is making inroads in India and South Asia, but I think this regulatory framework is super important for promoting innovation. So thank you very much for your support and continual support and exchange of information between South Asia and Japan. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Josna.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Our next speaker would be Dr. Rizaldi Akbar, Senior Capacity Building and Training Economist, Asian Development Bank Institute, with a Master's in Public Policy and a PhD in Economics from the University of Western Australia. His areas of specialization include macroeconomic surveillance, fiscal policy, and budget analysis. Prior to joining to ADBI, he worked with Indonesia's Ministry of Finance in various roles, addressing taxation, macroeconomics, investor relationships, and the Group 20. He was also special advisor for the chairman of Indonesia's Fiscal Policy Agency, in which he oversaw multifaceted fiscal policy issues and coordinated across the units and divisions of the FPA and Ministry of Finance. I now welcome Dr. Akbar to give his address. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rajarsi, for your kind introduction. Greeting from Tokyo. Good afternoon to all colleagues here. On behalf of ADBI Dean Sonobe, I congratulate you all on your active participation and successful completion of the ADBI ASCI online course on leadership development for citywide inclusive sanitation. I particularly appreciate that you already put a lot of commitment and sacrifice your time for 11 weeks, 2 days a week, on Wednesday and Saturday for 5 sessions and many more hours during weekdays to read materials while you were so busy with your day job as the policymaker and also government official. I would like to mention and delighted that this cohort that had many highlights. So we observed more participants from outside of India, particularly those from the Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Australia, and the Philippines. About 54% of the participants are senior level professional with more than 5 years of working experience. Also, more active participation from participants with a practice-oriented approach for learning, and also enhanced focus on the inclusion and gender integration in the sanitation. I do hope you gain global knowledge on the sanitation from the interactive session, learn about good practices of implementation in Asia from this workshop, and also field visit in India and exchange views or lesson learned from this experience with the faculty members and also fellow participants. I'm pleased to recall the first 3 cohort in the program held back in 2020, 2021, and early 2022 with 45, 103, and 96 participants respectively. The course was a big success in building change champions who can bring impact and are beneficial for the sector. So I trust the key learning from this course will be useful for you to apply the principle of CWIS for achieving urban sanitation goals and pathway for implementation. So if I may stress the important, please put the theory and your skill from this course and bring into the action. And maybe I will ask ASCI if you can have the monitoring evaluation for the follow-up, asking all the participants if they can implement knowledge that they already gained from this course into the action. Going forward, ASCI aims to create the peer learning network with all participants from the 4 cohorts. This will lead to the establishment of the Knowledge Support Center with regular knowledge sharing session and networking events with the sector professional. Participants will also gain support and guidance in the implementation of the project. My appreciation to the organizer, the SCI, for successfully completing the 4 cohort course on the CWS. At ADBI, we are happy to extend and continue collaboration with your organization. My gratitude to all the speakers and organizers who already made the successful delivery of this course possible. Your hard work and dedication are very highly regarded. I also request all participants to provide feedback on this course for our improvement of our event in the future. We also welcome feedback from the alumni of what kind of support that you need for the action to accelerate CWS in the respective city, region, or your country. So ladies and gentlemen, you already have a long week and have participated actively for this course. I thank you once again for your participation, and then wish you all have a restful weekend. I stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akbar. You actually rightly set the path for our participants. Jyotsna, I would like to ask you to call up our present cohort participants and then give their feedback and share with us their learnings and experiences, how they are taking them and how they are taking it forward.
So first we'll call the alumni participants because Dr. Akbar also highlighted about the alumni. So let's hear from the alumni that how they are using these learnings and what they have implemented and what they have done till now. So I'll call upon the participants from previous cohorts. So firstly, I would like to call Mr. Chanchal Kumar Modi. a practitioner from Madhya Pradesh. He was one of the active participants in cohort 2. Sir, are you around? Yeah, I can see. So over to you, sir. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Jyotsna, and thank you, Professor Chari, and thank you, ASCII team. When I did this course, I think it's more than a year ago, I was working at WaterAid, and we were working for FSM in small town, and also we were doing pilot for the rural FSM. And I think when did this course, actually we were working for FSM, but what I would say that this course really added value in our existing knowledge that time. As in at WaterAid, basically, we used to work in selected wards, and we selected towns, selected part of the panchayats, and sometimes you end up with the things in demonstrating models. But I think this course really helped us that how you can really convert models, demonstrations into scale up approach, how we can scale up at the citywide, at the district wide. So because I use this tool, though it was citywide inclusive approach, but I use this tool for rural also. In fact, I would say that how I converted citywide into district wide, you can say that, yeah, because in rural areas, basically when you want to scale up, you want to do advocacy, you will have to do with the district level. So we use it in rural FSM also. And at again, personal knowledge, I would say that I used accessible tools. We talk about accessible sanitation, making public toilet accessible, and we try to demonstrate public toilet. We did that as a working at WaterAid. I use this tool, I use this course, that how we really can work, with the city governments at the city level. I mean, we use this tool in Ujjain. I would say that how really you do a social audit together with the government. And that I will come later, because that the third learning I really use that, most often working in the social sector, working in civil society, you often have a complaints with the government. But I think such tools, such courses tells you that how we really work from the complaining mode to, collaborative model. How you can work together, collaborate together. And I think, this social, I'm talking about this social audit, or it's not, it's basically accessibility audit of the public toilets, that how we really do the accessibility audit. We did this with the government actually, and we did this with government. We worked in the Sajapur also and provided input that how we can work together, making accessibility audit with the district functionary, and they realizes the mistakes, they realizes the error, and they correct it. So this really, I mean, they provided, because this was not a course, but I would say this provided me an approach, and which can be used in sanitation as well as in the other sector where do you work. Because after WaterAid, I moved to a consulting agency, and I'm working for water now. But what I'm realizing now that, I can use this tool, because it not simply it becomes part of your thought process. So even if you think about the water, when you think about the you always think about the accessible water now, how really make water for all. Because when you really think about sanitation or water, no one should be left behind, as we say in sustainable development goals. So I think the course really helped me to think beyond selective areas, beyond selective collaborator. So how we can really collaborate with the multi-stakeholders, and how we can really translate our field knowledge, which is based on some selected areas, some selected wards at the city level. So I think that really, I would also like to thank about FSM toolbox. Though it looked very complex, but it really helped us, because we were planning for baseline, and we really used the FSM toolbox. Most of the impact thing, because when this course happened, we had already framed a baseline, tool. So we could not use completely, but yeah, we used this a part of the FSM toolbox into our baseline also. So it really helped a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually really nice to hear that you're using it, especially the FSM toolbox. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Mithilesh Kumar Mishra from NMCG. So very quickly, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'm thankful to ASCII for inviting me for today's graduation ceremony. And I'm also very thankful to Professor Chari and the entire ASCII team, and also to Sitaram. They have very marvelous techniques to transfer their knowledge to the participants. And it has been very helpful to us. After gaining this knowledge in citywide inclusive sanitations, it has really helped me a lot as I am being able to help various educational premises to handle their sanitation related issues and stormwater related issues. As currently working for National Mission for Clean Ganga, we are also involved in ensuring that the river flows healthy, the river gets rejuvenated, not only the Ganges, but also its tributaries and other small rivers. So this helps us me better monitor the STPs, FSTPs, which are functioning in the state. And we have been able to, on basis of this issue, based on non-compliances of environmental standards and strategies for compliances, we have been able to give notices under Section 5 to the various operators who are not operating STPs in a manner which is compliant to discharge standards. As a participants, we know that we get a better understanding from these courses. It was a very great learning to me, and for the current participants also. We come up with a better network. We are better networked now. We need support, we get support, we facilitate each other. So my call is to let's do it, let's facilitate and support each other. And we would have better understood that this sanitation, citywide sanitation is not one single domain, but it's a multidisciplinary team kind of work, where it involves planning, skills in execution, monitoring, operation maintenance, financing, technologies, environmental standards, human resources management, etc. The experience sharing during the training program is what itself very marvelous, and the group works were very interactive and productive. Attended all the sessions which were given for these 3 months, and this helps us make change happening. And let's make changes happen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you. One final alumni member, Mr. Nurul Amin from Vasa, Chittagong, Bangladesh. So you're here.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. Yes, I did my course and last 1 year ago, and at that time actually I gained a lot of knowledge from various stakeholders, especially those participants they joined. At that time actually we learned, and in Chittagong Wasa we are actually working a holistic job in terms of sanitation, especially sewage system. We are working water supply and sewage both. And currently we are actually at present there are no systematic sewage line in Chittagong, but in 2017 we did a master plan followed by the World Bank, and following that master plan, we are now implementing our sewage system. On the sewage system, there are treatment plant as well as fecal sludge management as well. Those are the low-income community groups and the area where we cannot afford to lay our sewer pipes. So actually, during the training session, we learned a lot by the collaborative approach, how the different stakeholders are doing their septic tanks management or human resource management, as well as the not a collaborative approach actually. So gaining that knowledge, now I am also engaged in sewage system. So followed on that training session, I'm trying to apply and share my knowledge to our current activities. So I welcome you. I welcome everybody, those who participated in the graduation ceremony and who did completed the course during the last sessions. I think it will be a collaborative approach, and time to time, if we link together with each other. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to all the alumni participants for joining. There are more who have joined, but in the interest of time, we'll go to our next session. So thank you all. So Banerjee sir, over to you to invite the keynote speakers.
Thank you so much, Jyotsna. And as a part of our keynote speaker for the sessions today, we first welcome Dr. Roshan Raj Shrestha, Deputy Director, Water and Sanitation of Hygiene of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He leads the efforts to promote urban sanitation markets and build municipal capacity to manage sustainable sanitation systems. Over to you, Dr. Shrestha, to deliver your keynote address. Thank you.
Sir, you're on mute.
Dr. Roshan, we can't hear you. Could you unmute yourself?
Must be some problem with your audio, sir. You are unmute, but we can't hear you.
Not yet audible, sir.
Vivek, could you help?
Actually, he is not in the country, so I guess he'll have to rejoin once again. If you could.
So, Dr. Roshan, if you could exit and then quickly join.
Rejoin once again, yeah. Roshan sir, unmute yourself once again. See if it's working this time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect.
Now.
You're loud and clear. Go ahead, sir.
No, what happened to my system? It's really great to hear from all of you, and thank you, Rajshri and Jyotsna, for facilitating this session. I was here, I was joining from the beginning, and I heard a lot of stories and learnings from the colleagues, and also, of course, from Professor Chari, Dr. Sitaram, and everybody. It's really inspiring me a lot with the success of this program. Now, I just want to know, like, what is the way forward, because I know this is a quite comprehensive program. I also like to really join this, and spending time is very, very difficult, and that's why the way, I don't know how you manage time. Every weekend spending such a extra time to work for this is really your big commitment as well. So now we need to see how we are going to use your knowledge and skill, and the success is always like how we can see these things in the ground. Of course, the thing that what you learn quite comprehensive, and you cannot really use this knowledge everything at the same time. But if we can see at least some component that what you learn that is going to apply in the field, it will be, we can say that this is a really successful program. So again, the measurement things, you also talk about the measurement, you also learn the measurement. Also, we really want to see the success of this case, how to measure that. I'm sure Professor Chari and ADBI may have some plan, because a lot of training program we are doing, I'm not sure that all these training programs are really successfully utilized, because it's not really easy as well, because you need some program to implement, and you need some some authority who really help to use your knowledge. So let's work together. So I don't know what kind of support or what kind of continuous follow-up to be done from our side. We are happy to do that. Professor definitely will be continuously coming to you, and entire ADBI team and as well as ASCII team will be talking to you in future. And just let us know what needs to be done to follow up this all learning that what you have really achieved in this last 3 months course. And and also, like, right now you are, I don't know how many, 50, 60 colleagues are joining,
Dr. Roshan, again, we lost you.
Audio is not.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Go ahead.
So there are a couple of things like I just want to alert you about our program as well. For example, we have also established a capacity building. Yeah, some message. That's why I'm making some. I have some problem. Yeah. Okay. I hope it should be okay now.
Yeah.
So.
It is.
So that now at least all the colleagues who received this training program can be a strong resource person for the other platform where we have established. For example, I have seen a lot of colleagues also from Bangladesh. They have joined. So how Bangladesh colleague can really join with IT and BUET to deliver this program with our capacity building platform to Bangladesh and beyond. Similarly, I have seen also from Nepal, also Info and several partners are also our capacity building partner. So how Info team and other team really will be utilized this knowledge and learning to train to the country in Nepal as well, and same thing goes to the Indonesia and of course in India as well. So for this, again, there should be a kind of the collaboration need to continue because you need resource person, and you all are resource person now. And it will be always good that if colleague from India can talk to Bangladesh, it will be much more interesting for the colleague. Same thing, vice versa, like Bangladesh colleague can be resource person for India and other country. So this kind of the mechanism, cross learning, the sharing mechanism, you can continue. That will be fantastic. So let's discuss further to continue this program and see the the things in the ground. And in between, if you may need for example, right now you learn, but you may need more detail on that. Like there's some place you may need to do some study, some place you may need to do some research, some place you may need to develop some investment plan and so on and so on. So we have also developed some mechanism. For example, as you know, we have the technical assistant hub we have established. Recently, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we are going to launch a global water sanitation center of excellency in Thailand, in Bangkok with AIT. So they will be also coming to you to work together with you. And so the partnership between the AIT, ASCII, ADBI, Info, ICANN, BUET, all these are our capacity building institutions that will be helping to the country. So I really like to see this kind of collaboration. And Professor Sari ASCII is very much smart on this. I'm looking Professor Sari to coordinate all those things in future, and we'll be come back to you again. And many thanks to ASCII colleague. Similarly, ADBI, Dr. Staram and Sanji, a lot of colleagues they involved a lot. And I'm very glad to see the JICA colleague from India. They are very much engaged with this citywide inclusive sanitation. So let's keep in touch, and you are free to write to me and to the foundation also. Your suggestion is very much valuable for us. We want to see the feedback. You have the feedback. Sometimes feedback needs to be given to third party. That's why we can also share that feedback to our partner. So your feedback will be very much valuable because other reason is also because right now we don't have any standard curriculum and courses on citywide inclusive sanitation. So I'm sure this kind of training program will bring more standard curriculum and courses, and that can be we can make it like a very much standard program to spread globally. That's why your feedback is very much important for us to continue this work. And thank you so much to all, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srishta. I now hand over to Professor Srinivas Chari to call our next keynote speaker. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Roshan. Absolutely right. We would be, I think this agenda can only be taken forward if we forge partnerships with different institutions this is not an individual institution's agenda, or it has to become a regional agenda. And your effort of creating these regional partnerships and forums are extremely, extremely valuable. Thank you very much for creating this enabling environment for converting ideas to practice. I think that's your effort, and we are grateful to you for making this happen. Now, apart from capacities, I think equally important is to have access to finance to translate ideas to practice, because you may have good capacities, but if you don't have access to finance, we feel pretty frustrated and we feel hampered in taking the agenda forward. So we now have with us Mr. Manoj Gulati. He's a regional director from water.org, a very experienced entity, foundation, trying to promote access to water and sanitation at a community level. Now they have been sort of migrating, scaling this agenda from providing access to individual financing at a household level to financing MSMEs, financing innovators, so that they can take these ideas forward and connect with the cities. So I am thankful to Mr. Manoj Gulati for agreeing to join us and deliver his remarks and his keynote address. Over to you, Mr. Manoj.
I was having a little technical difficulty at the end.
We
Just
can
want to
hear you.
confirm. Perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. So once again, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, graduating course mates, and
So we can't hear you. Your screen has frozen.
How do we?
Sorry, sir, I think internet is a little weak. We can't hear you properly.
Softer, facts of gender-related behavioral change, financial planning, those aspects have been covered well. And I think this puts us into a really advantageous position because the learning has become. Before I go.
Sir, you're breaking in between. We can't hear you properly.
To effect their sanitation and water and hygiene needs.
Manoj Saab, would you mind switching off your camera so that your bandwidth improves? We are losing you in between.
I will try that, Professor Chari. Is that better?
Yeah, this is better. Okay. We lost you in between. So if you could repeat a bit of what you said earlier.
So I'll begin, by giving a quick introduction. I'm part of water.org. I manage the South Asia region. And we are a non-profit organization that focuses on enabling financial institutions to effectively reach that base of the economic pyramid through economic and financial as a financial product. And through our efforts in the last, in 11 countries and with 150 different financial institutions as partners, we've been able to reach over 48 million people, resulting in actually globally at around $4 billion of capital mobilized. And in India itself, for our colleagues from here, it's around 4.1 million loans have been established at the household levels with 99% repayments, and it's generated around 8,000 crores or $1 billion of lending that has successfully happened. All this has happened through various banks, SHGs, and through the various financial institutions that are available. And it's covered under the Reserve Bank of India's priority sector lending norms. So it's been a very successful model. One thing which came out through this is the results have proven more than that the people who live at the base of the economic pyramid, the real issue for them is access to funds, alternative funds to solve their own problems. When people take, and when women take these funds and solve their own problems, a lot of it actually then converts into greater participation, more involvement, and understanding that why sanitation is such a huge part of their health, and solving those issues solves their health, their dignity, their productivity, livelihood issues. So there's a lot that gets covered through that. But I have to say that that is the, in some ways, that's the baseline of the work that we have done. And what is now effectively we have to look at it is, how does the entire supply chain actually funds be there to actually solve the entire, FSSM issues or even wastewater management issues? There's a huge market that has now got created, with 100 million toilets that were made in India. And overall, anytime we are taking a solution, start from the household, but address the entire ecosystem. So today we are actually at a place where, let me share some examples that India today requires not only more fecal FSTPs, but also that, as we all recognize, the transportation operators comes into place, the containment systems comes into place, the smart technology and IoTs will come into place with to detect the, when to schedule the next one. There's a lot that will happen through this process. And as part of that solution, the FSTP contracts are now becoming, we have tried it out at certain places. We're now moving into an era where the PPP framework is becoming adopted. I'm sure you've done it in the curriculum also. We're using, innovative models like HAM are becoming part of the standard solution. So I recently actually received a query from, and this is how things are, we need to look at it from a larger FSTP perspective. I recently did receive a query from a private institution that was has been tentatively been given the contract to manage 10 FSTPs in different AULBs. 60% of the capex was going to be provided by the government, and then the total fund was for capex, and 40% was to be given over the next 10-15 years as O&M costs, and to be paid through annuity model. So when you think about this, such institutions, what they need is they've created the right environment, and what they need is to ensure that the normal running of the FSTP is there. The funds are available to them, because we recognize that if planned correctly, such SPVs through an SPV mechanism or through other independent entities, they can attract equity and debt support. And private and public funds can be deployed to cover that 40% that will be, during the year that they will be needing, with an active credit line, for instance. So I'm much excited that, these solutions, if we structure it correctly, we can actually have a very innovative and sustainable solution in the long run. So one of the key factors that ASCII and Water.org have been working on is the idea that we need to be establishing, we just recently signed a letter of intent, is that these innovative models need to be constructed in such a way that we are able to solve the problem before we actually, while we're making that construct, and not afterwards have to see that the solution has not been established or the problem has come out along the way. The joint, this joint financial cell that we are creating will act like a single point to analyze what is that the institution, the PPP or the SPV's needs. How do you actually solve it? What kind of financial support does it require, so that the solution is built very close to where we had to be. I'll just share with you a couple of other quick points. And, the World Bank effectively has estimated that in order to reach our SDG goals, the total requirement is per annum globally is around $114 billion. And if you look at all the fundings, all our government fundings, our CSR fundings, it's around $30 to $32 billion that is being spent currently. That means this gap, which is there of, effectively around $80 billion is the financial gap, which needs alternative solutions to solve the problem. Now, that's a a very big issue that is going to be there. And therefore, I believe that we are at this time where we need to address that effectively in our planning strategy, and we need to incorporate and bring in, along with the government and the policy makers, the banks and the financial institutions should also become part of that solutioning. Last part I just want to bring in is that these are my suggestions, that when we are looking at these projects, we tend to make our own, even if I look at it from an India point of view, we tend to make very simplistic linear solutions. That means that effectively the government funds are sufficient and will be able to address the need. But when you look at the 75 years that we have gone through, we find that many of our good projects have got stalled because of this financial gap itself. If we look at these solutions not from just from a CapEx point of view, but actually start working from an O&M point of view, how are we going to sustain it for the next 15 years? Some of the things will get answered very quickly. And as Professor Sitaram very well summed it up, that the solution needs to run like a public service, be a public service, but run like a business service. And I think that's the real, the confidence that we should have and the way we should be constructing it. So thank you once again, Professor Chari and ASCII, for this effort, and good luck, and look forward to be learning and working with each one of you. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Manoj. Friends, I think as all of us know, while we implement citywide inclusive sanitation, access to finance, access to capital, both from infrastructure point of view as well as from operation and maintenance point of view, is super important. I'll give you some examples. One of the requirements that is emerging in a city like Warangal is conversion of insanitary toilets to sanitary toilets. Now, the household requires access to small capital, maybe 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees. Now, that particular capital is very important for improving the sanitation in a community, in a mohalla, in a lane, in a bylane, because there's a bunch of insanitary toilets. Likewise, the desludging operators require finances. Likewise, the FSTP operators, the grey water treatment solution providers, they require working capital. They require capital investment support. So these innovative financing solutions are very, very important for accelerating our journey towards citywide inclusive sanitation goals. So I'm thankful to Mr. Manoj for being available to us, bringing innovative products and solutions to support this journey of citywide inclusive sanitation. Thank you very much once again for joining. Josna, over to you for conducting the next part of the session.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen, Benji, sir. Would you like to?
Yeah. Yes, it's the final moment where we put ourselves to be the graduates of this course. A round of applause to all the participants. And
you can open your mic and clap also.
And then, Josna, would you please direct our participants to wear the graduation cap?
Yes. So now, since you have graduated, we'll virtually do the ceremony. So we'll take a group photo. I request all of you to please wear your graduation hats. So you'll find it, just go to the video settings. There you will have, one second, background and effects. So in that, under video filters, you'll be finding an hat. So that's the graduation hat. Request you to wear your graduation hat. So under video settings, background and effects, just scroll down, you'll find a hat. See, I got my hat. How many of you? Yeah. Just quickly, we'll take a picture, graduation picture.
I got a pizza.
Sorry, I'm unable to find it under video settings.
So did you find background and effects?
Advanced?
No. In the settings down.
Yeah.
Click the arrow on the video.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Then video filters.
Yeah, in video filters, just scroll down, you'll find the hat.
Yeah, the black color or red color? What do you say?
Whichever you prefer.
I
So,
don't see any. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
yeah. So request all of you to come on the camera. We'll quickly take a group picture. Yeah, I see everyone wearing the hat now. So still a couple of people have to come on camera.
Request all of you to come in the camera. Even if you don't find the hat, please put on the camera.
So yeah, I'll be capturing the screens. Just keep smiling for the next 2 seconds.
Go on.
Oh, take it again. Okay, screen 2. And the final one. Thank you so much. Thank you. And really appreciate for your.
Another round of applause. And then next course of action is the
floor is open for the participants. Yeah.
Yes. Our present cohort participants, we would want you to share your experiences as you went with us through this journey of learning.
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I want to share my experiences. Okay.
Yes, yes, please.
Please, sir.
Good afternoon, Namaskar. I am Virendra Kadal from Kathmandu, Nepal. First of all, I would like to thank to ADBI, ASCII, UN Habitat Nepal, and Government of Nepal for providing me this opportunity to be the part of this program. I feel my immense pleasure to take this course, and ASCII has done a great job. Therefore, thank you, ASCII. I am currently working in the Department of Water Supply and Sewerage Management in Nepal, and it is the lead department to lead the water sector in the Nepal. And therefore, I think this course is very, very useful for me. And as Nepal was declared an ODF country in 2019, but we are in a little bit dilemma. What is the step after post ODF? And to achieve the targets is targeted by the Sustainable Development Goal 6.2. We have to do a lot of things. And Nepal, there are very few progresses in city-wide inclusive sanitation in Nepal, and in the sector of sanitation, we have very few development. Therefore, I think from this course, Nepal will be very benefited, and this course will help me to plan, to formulate the plan and policies, to draft the plan and policies, and to implement the plan and policies to the local level. And another thing here I want to mention that is Professor Cherry has mentioned a lot of time that citywide inclusive sanitation, it is a public issue, not private, but it is public. Therefore, in the context of Nepal, also Nepal is now practicing the federal system of government, and there are 753 local governments, and in this scenario, this course shall be very useful for them also. And I commit from here that I will be one of the leaders of citywide inclusive sanitation in my country, and I will share my experiences, I'll share my knowledge, and I'll share my learnings to the local levels. This is one of my commitment. And also at last, I would like to thank you for designing such a very beautiful course. And my one of the feedbacks is that this will be more fruitful if this course can be switched to offline mode, that means in physical person. So I think ASCII will do in near future, and as we are facing the COVID pandemic, therefore I think this course was switched to online mode. And at last, not the least, I would like to thank Professor Sari, Professor and Josena, and Professor Rajarsi, sorry, Professor Rajarsi, and all the team who managed such beautiful course and who managed us to bring us together and made us such great network of in city-wide inclusive sanitation. And thank you all and keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Any other participant?
May I come in?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. I will take that.
Mr. Singh, we can't hear you.
Again, sir, we can't hear you. Nagendra, sir, we can't hear you.
You need to unmute yourself.
We can't hear you, sir. Do you want to rejoin again? Meanwhile, I think, Mr. Vivek, would you like to share your experience?
I mean, I wanted to, there are lot of many things onto my mind, but in the interest of time, I'll just be very brief and quick. So, I mean, I really don't know where to start from, but one thing is that I'm sure many of you would have attended this online course, many other online courses. But what makes this CWIS online course very special and a unique one is that it was very efficiently, it was able to connect to each one of us. I mean, it binded us throughout the course, and I never realized that how soon this time passed. And this was one of the things. And seriously speaking, the pedagogy adopted was beautiful. I mean, I never felt that I'm attending to an online course. It made me feel that someone is sitting in front of me and delivering those lectures. The resource materials were beautifully designed. And, even just wanted to let you know that I had to skip few of my meetings to attend this course. And since my boss, Dr. Roshan is there, I'm thankful to him also because he spared me when he came to know that a session is going to be held for this ASCII course. So he spared me during that time. So I'm thankful to him. I'm especially thankful to the team of ASCII, especially Professor Chari, Josna ji, Rashri sir. Even after the course, even after the schedule of this course, they were very able to connect us. They were very easily accessible. I mean, we had WhatsApp chats. I could clarify my doubts through WhatsApp also. This is what it makes it, unique from all other online courses which I have attended till date. And there's nothing to comment on to the resource material, which was world class. And one thing which I have started contributing towards after attending this course is that standards and norms for the biosolids. That was very interesting. And I look forward to learn from Rashi sir and Professor Chari and also Josna to help me out in working and supporting in formulation of these guidelines. Thank you, everyone. And thank you all. It was a great learning for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nagendra sir, do you want to
Yes.
go?
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, there was some technical glitches that side. So thank you very much and really appreciate, because when I joined this course, I was not knowing that the course will have a lot. And I am very honest to saying maybe many times before the module, I didn't go to the technical details. I am very honest before you. But what I found it very useful that we can go and refer those materials. And I'm right now in Lebanon and supporting the cholera response. And you believe me that whenever I'm discussing with the government official here, the different partners, I am referring those standards and norms, what you have said with over here. So I'm really grateful. And as Professor Chari said in the beginning, that this, the network, definitely it's not one time. It's we keep referring, and wherever you go, every time you find new challenges, new, and therefore it's always good to get the information, how the people are practicing this song, how in different situations. So I will be very much happy to be part of this network and continue learning, because it's many times it opened the sky for me, because before that I was not considering that, yes, that should be also considered. So it's not new learning always, but also finding and analyzing the situation in a different way, that how ultimately the services can be ensued in a longer term. So thank you very much. I'm really very much appreciated, and thank you Professor Chari and his team and all the person who has really contributed in making such a wonderful things. And as I mentioned, that field visit and exposure was really very great. And I request that whenever you have this, maybe we will have more face-to-face interaction. I think that was really wonderful. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, sir. So let's hear from a couple of overseas participants also. I see Mr. Hendra Gupta. So would you like to come in?
Yes, thank you, Josna. Do you mind if I share my experience? I keep thinking about it, and the more I read the materials, and I keep changing what's in my mind. So just a 3 minutes presentation, and yeah, just a moment. Okay. Yeah, so good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Hendra Gupta from AIT Thailand, and I'm going to share the action plan for Krong Krache, Cambodia. Before I start my 3 minutes journey in this presentation, I have a question that you may reflect on. What is worth preserving in a city? Something that you can bring home and think about later in Saturday evening. What is worth preserving in your city? Krong Krache is a secondary city, 200 kilometers away from the capital of Cambodia. It has 72 square kilometer area, 32,000 population, and 7,000 households. The city is surrounded by the Mekong River, wetlands, and lakes, and the local government envisioned it to be one of Cambodia's tourist destinations, promoting the Mekong dolphins. Currently, the city is expanding for residential and business purposes, performed by landfilling of the wetlands. So what is the sanitation problem in Krache? 90% of untreated domestic wastewater is disposed of to the wetland. If you see on the slide, the red dashed circle in the slide, that's actually part of the wetland. That's only the southern part of the wetland. So the northern part, there's also another wetland. So the city is really surrounded by water. And unfortunately, soak pits are commonly applied. Nearly all households observed use soak pits. So unaware of the standard septic system and cheap, also easy installation of soak pits may be the reason behind that. Other than domestic wastewater, disposal of untreated wastewater from the market, hospital, abattoir, and dumping of untreated fecal sludge to farmlands deplete the environmental quality. So a lot of this wastewater, 90%, may even more, are predicted to be discharged to the wetlands, to the lakes behind the secondary city, behind Krong Krache. In addition to that, low awareness of local government, no guidance from the national government, and lack of capacity and budget for sanitation development complicate the whole matter. So my own question is, how would they achieve their goal as a tourism destination when nature's sting? Now, this is the one that I always get back to after seeing Professor Chari, Professor Rajarsi, and also other speakers. With the escalation of problems in Krache and the time frame provided for the action plan in this course, I decided to ignite the responsibility and resource planning and management part of CWIS core functions. Because as you probably capture from the previous slides, these are the part that really lacking, the government participation in sanitation development. With that, in the first 3 months, I will clarify the mandates of provincial and district governments in urban sanitation and FSM. I will engage private stakeholders, the sludging service providers, community leaders, and business associations to build consensus on their roles and responsibility. Clarify and engage in the first 3 months to build consensus on what are the roles and responsibility of each institution. And within the next 6 months, I will help the city identify a secure disposal area. I will help the city in developing standard operation procedures and quality management systems for safe desludging and disposal, perhaps also for the domestic wastewater management. By the end of the action plan period, a peer pressure group to monitor the implementation of mandates is established, and budgets are planned for information and education campaign, capacity building programs, and a dislodging program for each village or community. So hoping by this 1-year process, I can help the city government to plan and budget essential plannings for the first implementation of dislodging program for each village, and also other programs such as retrofitting the existing soak pits or existing sanitation. In my opinion, this is the essential foundation to establish accountability in Krong Kracie. And thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the lecturers, Professor Chari, and also other professors for always, making me think all the time about what I have done. So it's a good reflection from me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. There's a comment in the group. So yeah, female participants, anyone would like to share your experience? I see Ms. Hefty Jones video on, so I'm sorry I'm dragging you in, but would you like to share your experience?
Hi everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, Professor Chari and Banerjee and Joshna. I'm very grateful to be in the part of this cohort 4 session. Why? Because the field visit is very useful to me. Really, I gained a lot of knowledge regarding this in this field trip. So I'm very thankful, and I gained few knowledge regarding this, so very thankful.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else like to go?
If it's male allowed, allow me to say
Yes,
a few
yes.
words. Yeah, I think thank you everyone, Professor Chari and SK Group and all ADBI, Professor Sitaram, giving us this opportunity. And I'm from, I think, as Professor Dr. Roshan mentioned, so in AIT, we are establishing Global Water and Sanitation Center. And I think Dr. Roshan requested us, actually 5-6 of us, why don't you guys join this one? Because for me, the CWIS is very new to me. It's very new. And I think during the course, when I was able to capture most of the vocabularies, learning all the terminologies, I think person like me, I think coming into new field, I think listening to all experience and technical session, I grabbed a complete kind of, I would say it's like a complete set of technologies and then how this is happening. And I think as our center is, I think Professor Chari is also coming here to our opening ceremony, and many of colleagues also here. So this give us, I think Hendra also in our team, and then another 3-4 people was in the same group. So we are, as a team, this course gave us to real booster to start our center with a different level, because we have big understanding about what is happening in Bangladesh and India. And thank you to all, and also participants and our colleagues, like my batchmate, I would say, when they are sharing their challenges, I think it's not that easy like theories, like they bring us real challenges into the discussion. And then also we had several group work together. We put our thoughts and then business plan development to cities, and it was very very good experience. And thank you for everyone, all the resource person and all the colleagues, and also thankful for giving this opportunity. Okay.
Thank you so much. Any last participant would like to go? Anyone from outside India, Sri Lanka, or maybe?
Yeah, shall I go?
Yes, please.
Thank you all. First of all, I would like to thank all the organizing staff to doing a wonderful job. As I explained in my presentation, at the moment, Sri Lanka is lagging in the field of sanitation, because what I feel is we don't have a proper understanding of what is inclusive sanitation. We have some approaches towards the sanitation coverage, but what I feel is now the trend has changed, and especially India is coping up to what is going on and what is new in the sector. Because I understood that especially you guys are thinking about what is the labor aspect, the female aspect, and all of those. But in here, we don't much care about that. So first of all the material of the course was really important. So within few weeks, I was taking on your stuff and presenting to my colleagues and all my bosses about what's going on in the world, what's in India, how they are practicing, and what the hell are we doing here. So at the moment now, I'm trying to change the trend here, because I think we have lagged before, and I think a lot to gain from this training. At the moment, I'm especially what I feel is now this training was in an international standard. I mean, not international, it's like in European standard, because when you see those videos and all of those, I don't think you can find such videos anywhere else, because we have prepared them really well. So I would like to thank all the professors and teachers, because they are really humble. I have never seen teachers like that. So they are really humble and they are helping me. Even they emailed me privately, sending me more details about stuff. So I would like to really thank all the lecturers and all the organizing staff to doing a wonderful job. And I hope we'll implement this and we'll meet again in a new few years. Then I'll proudly say that we have implemented inclusive sanitation in Sri Lanka. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for all the participants. It's really encouraging to hear such kind words, and hope you'll use this learnings to your implementation in your cities. So we are coming to the end of the program. So before I hand it over for the closing remarks, just a couple of things I would like to share. So one is, you must be wondering about the certificate. So we will be posting your certificates. We'll be taking the address from you and we'll be posting. This is a sample certificate, just wanted to show. So each of you will be given this. And finally, I want to thank ASCII team, also especially the course directors, and also Manjusha and Avinash for keeping this program active and live. Thank you so much. And definitely the ADBI team. Definitely Sitaram sir, thank you so much for being a pillar, and Santi, Dwiki, and also Aki-san for constantly helping us with the conduct of the program. Yeah, so here I would like to take note and also share with you all, with this cohort, we have a group, a connect of 360 graduated from this course, belonging to 20 different states of India and also across South Asia and beyond. We have members from Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Africa, Thailand, Indonesia, and we also reached till Canada and Australia. So it's a huge connect that we have right now. 360 change leaders of citywide inclusive sanitation. Hope to bring that impact on ground. So how we are going to do that and how we'll be back, I request Chari sir to share thoughts on this.
Thank you very much, Josna. Thank you all. I am not going to hold all of you back. We have spent almost 2.5 hours now. I mean, I like the presentation of Mr. Gupta, Hendra Gupta, learning to igniting change. And I think that's the key message I'm taking away. How do we ignite change now that we have learned something? And in this whole igniting process, I think we need collaboration, we need certain amount of support systems, and we need to exchange ideas. And also probably some of these ideas would have been implemented elsewhere, as Mr. Gupta presented. A similar story would have been implemented somewhere in Japan, or it could be implemented in India, Nepal, Bangladesh. So I think we need a mechanism to learn from each other and continue to ignite this change. So what we propose is, as an idea on this occasion, we just want to take this idea forward of connecting a peer learning platform, a global leadership peer learning platform, because all of you are leaders. It's a network of CWIS leaders at a global level. So we're going to formalize this, and we're going to solicit a number of partnerships to make it happen. It's not just about ASCII or ADBI. Probably we need more number of players to keep it alive and keep it going. So we are going to sort of formalize this. It's a global network of CWIS leaders. We're going to discuss with Dr. Roshan and Dr. Sitaram and all of you, many of you, and we're going to give a shape to this. So on this occasion, I would like to announce that we are going to launch this global network of CWIS leaders in a collaborative way, so that this igniting process continues to happen beyond a couple of cities, but I think it should happen across. So to begin with, we would create a network of 360 practitioners who went through this program, and then we continue to bring other government partners and other collaborators into this platform. So thank you very much. I now request Dr. Sitaram to give his final words of, his experience as well as his own comment on creating this peer learning platform.
Thank you, Srinivas-Chari, and I want to thank my colleague, Dr. Akbar, also delivering formal comments and message on behalf of Asian Development Bank Institute. I was very happy that Srinivas-Chari invited Mr. Gulati to come and talk to us, to give a keynote. And of course, Roshan Shrestha gave an excellent keynote on behalf of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A very important message that I learned is the contribution to the water and sanitation sector has always come from outside the sector in terms of cash and in terms of commitment, in terms of inspiration. So, as you know, Mr. Gates, Bill Gates, everybody knows, I don't have to say, he's not from the water sector. He was a computer engineer, computer company, and then he decided to do it as a philanthropy. It took him some time to prioritize, think of sanitation as one of the areas. He did not just put money. You have a video you can watch in Netflix, Inside Bill's Brain. It's fantastic how he took a passion and he wants to have some result on the ground. He's not just giving money for us to study and learn only. So that's number one. And you may all, again know very famous actor Matt Damon, why he has just chosen water as his philanthropic and charitable activity. It has become an enterprise now. It's pushing $4 billion into the sector and really bringing change. They are from outside the sector. How I wish there are a lot of philanthropists, high net worth individuals who are around the world, including from our own region. How I wish there are many film actors, film producers who also become very rich. How I wish that they all will take a little time and also commit, put money where their mouth is, as they say in professional language. How nice it would be. We will have significant change. The other important change that has happened, and we are all witnessing that, is 20 years ago, we spoke about the problem and how big the problem is for water and sanitation. We had no idea how to solve it. And at that time, we thought maybe putting more money would be a start, but we realized that each one of you is so important. That means we need agents of change. Money is not the constraint in today's world, nor is knowledge or information, but it's actual action on the ground. And that requires, pair of hands and transferring the knowledge, because it is across generations. So we know it, but can we give it to the next generation so that they won't still discuss the problem and they'll solve it? So that work is a big exercise. And to me, this is just a beginning. How I wish this network of individuals will become like the who is who in CWIS. We have who is who in various areas and people publish them. So people can go to this person and then we can transfer and share this knowledge. The third and last message that I want to leave with you is that we have published case studies of success stories. I mentioned in my initial remarks that success goes faster and louder for learning. I would like to have case studies of your successes at some point. Santi will share with you the case bank that we have created on successes, which we can use as case-based learning. Some of you would have known case-based learning in business schools. So we can use case-based learning to transfer knowledge, because the problem is not a worked problem. It is still a new problem each time when you're going to work at it and when others are going to work at it. So please take these three important messages along with, and I thought I should share this at this important occasion when we are forming this network. So the network is not just only networking, but it is a lot more that you can do. And we look forward to learning from each one of you, from your actual experiences, writing case studies about your experience and transferring that knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, Srinivas-Chari.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we have come to the end of the program. I take this opportunity to thank all the eminent guests who joined today for inspiring us and agreeing to catalyze the change. And I congratulate all the graduates who have passed out from this certification program, and also the alumni who could take out time and join the course and join this inaugural concluding session and share their own experiences of how they are taking the learning to implementation. So thank you very much. And I thank all the ASCII as well as ADBI colleagues for collectively making this program a success. Thank you very much. Keep in touch, and then we will make this global CWIS learning network operationalized very soon. We will be discussing the modalities with all of you. Thank you very much.
Great round of applause. Thank you.